Hi, it's Twy. This is the second video in a series that I'm making called How to Heal. And today we are in the back of my car because it is raining and I don't want to hike out to my usual spot, but you can enjoy the rain like I am. So today we are focusing on what I think is the most important, probably, and simultaneously the hardest part of healing, and that is rewiring your brain. And I think people don't intuitively understand what that means, but I think the most important aspect of it is to realize that we as people are not our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. And like, what does that mean? You know, if we're not our thoughts, what are we? But really, our thoughts are conditioning from our environment throughout our lives that makes us believe that we can, one, fit into a box, and two, that we have to conform to that box. And we do not. I am here to tell you, we do not live in a box. And whatever box that you feel like you have to be in, you don't. You really don't. And I think that this is really hard for people to wrap their brains around, or at least it was really hard for me at first. I don't think the concept of it was hard to me, but the application of it was extremely hard to me. And I'll give you some examples of what this might look like for other people, and also like what it looked like for me in my own experience. And for other people, a lot of times this can look like not believing that you can do things, not thinking that you're good enough. Why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I see this? Why did I do this action? You know, for me, I think that this needs to be applied in all aspects of your life, not just the way you treat others, but also the way that you treat yourself. And also the way that you see the world. That's really, really important too, and people don't take that into account. Our words and our actions hold so much more weight than we realize. We say things very flippantly. We do things, oftentimes unintentionally, that hurt other people. And when we don't recognize the power, the weight of our words and our actions towards other people and towards ourselves, then we can't control it. And you can't control something that you're not aware of. So I think this really starts with small things. And you'll realize it. I have a story here about this jacket that I have, that I love this jacket. It's a really special gift and I love it, and I wanted it for years, and of course it showed up. But so I used to drive in my car in the mornings and I would be drinking my coffee. I don't drink coffee anymore. Really interestingly, not because it was a conscious choice, but because my body doesn't want it anymore. It's really interesting. But So I would drive to work, or I would drive to school, and I would have my coffee in my hand, and I would have these cookies that I love, and I would be doing my little balancing act with my coffee in one hand and my cookie in the other, and I would tell myself every morning, and I took my jacket off because I was like, one of these mornings I am gonna spill my coffee on myself, and it's not gonna be on my jacket. So I would take my jacket off every morning, and every morning I would eat my cookies and drink my coffee, and I would say, one of these days, man, one of these days this is gonna go awry and I'm gonna spill it on myself. And of course, it was the first day that I didn't wear this, or that I had my jacket left on. I had my jacket left on. And I was drinking my coffee and dunking my little cookies in there. And of course I spilled my coffee on myself. Now, I want you to take a second and understand that I love this jacket, and it is a nice jacket. And I want you to imagine, if you can, what would you do? How would you feel in that situation? Okay? I laughed because it was funny to me. It was funny that I was like, this is gonna happen one day and I'm not gonna be wearing my jacket, and then the one day that I had the balls to just do it and wear my jacket while I did it, and I was like, it's gonna be fine. Of course, that was the day that it happened, and it spilled on me and it got on my jacket, and it was just funny. And you know, it was funny not because it happened, but because I can't do anything about it except see I want to say silliness of it and how trivial it is. And you know, it was fine. It did not affect my jacket at all. It did not affect my day at all. And I think that this is one of the hardest things to do, is when a wrench goes in your day and you just let it pull the whole day down. And that it doesn't have to be that way. And when you project that anger, frustration out into the world, that just brings more of it back to you. It doesn't help you in any way. And it sure as hell doesn't bring you any peace. You know? And as far as rewiring your brain, that's a really good practice, is when these little things happen. And see if you can find the comedy in it. See if you can see how funny this is from a macro perspective, and how it really doesn't matter. It doesn't need to affect your whole day. It really doesn't. And that is a matter of practicing that skill. That is a skill that you can practice. And one of the harder ones, one of the hardest skills with this, hardest for me, was I had all of these thoughts about myself. And I knew that my past didn't define me, but I still had myself in that box. And I couldn't break free for a long time. And really, it is practicing, and it is recognizing when you are beating yourself up about something, when you are saying, I'm trash, I can't do this, I'm not good at this, I can't do anything right, why can't I ever do anything right? When you say those things, you're pushing that on yourself. And you are beating up your inner child, and your inner child does not deserve any of that. Absolutely not. And I'm sure you know this. You know that you don't deserve that. And really, the skill here is when you are in that space, when you see yourself in that space of beating yourself up, of being angry at yourself, of resentfulness. The skill is to recognize that you are doing that to yourself and tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the alternative. And even if you don't believe it, this is how you rewire your brain. Even if you don't believe it, you tell yourself these things, and that is who you become. And that can look like, I can do this. I can do hard things. And this is not who I am. You know, the actions that I did are not who I am. I can feel bad about doing it, and that's okay that I feel bad about doing it, but that is not who I am. And because I recognize that that was not a good action on my part, I won't do that again. And there's peace in that. Another huge aspect of this is when you interact with other people, and people get triggered. People get triggered by what they don't have. They do. And when you catch yourself in the state of being angry at somebody, or being jealous of somebody, or being resentful towards someone, what inside you is creating that pain? Because by you allowing that to affect you, you are allowing that into your life. You're allowing that into your space, and it's breeding more of that. It's really windy. So when you feel that bubble up of anger, when you feel that bubble up of jealousy, same thing. See if you can catch yourself in those feelings, and then try to find the root of it. Why are you feeling that way? Why are you angry about that person? And maybe they wronged you. You know, maybe they wronged somebody else. Maybe they are making poor decisions, but that's not your responsibility. That is not your responsibility. It never has been, and it never will be. Your reactions are your responsibility, and that's all that you can control. And so when you are in these interactions and you feel like you're going to blow up on somebody, you feel like you're going to explode, or maybe somebody is just causing you emotional instability. If you can find the root cause of that, if you can look inward and say, okay, I don't agree with this. I don't agree what they're doing, or maybe this is bothering me for some reason. What is my best course of action for me in this situation? And do that. Your body will know what to do versus your mind. Your mind is a filter, and of course it's necessary, obviously, but who you are is not your mind. Yeah. I think these are the big key details that I wanted to make sure to get out, and that I wanted to make sure that you hear, because I don't know where you are, but I do know that before you get a handle on rewiring your brain, it's a foundation. You need it. You need it. And I just felt like I needed to get this out quickly. And we might come back to this, but this is a really good start for you to practice if you aren't already here. I feel like sharing this story too, so I'm gonna get this out as well. Recently, I've been rewiring my brain for years at this point, but recently I've been having to rewire it in a completely new way that I have never experienced. And just some fun information for you guys. When I was setting this up, I got mud all over myself. And you brush that shit off. And I waited for it to dry and I literally brushed it off. And that emotional stability, that clarity, that's what it is. That clarity is so beneficial for healing. It's a catalyst. But recently, I have been in my own phase where I have been experiencing using boundaries in a way that I never have. When people ask me hard questions, I've been giving them honest answers. And I have not been allowing anybody into my space that does not deserve to be here. And those are my boundaries, and that is the level that I'm holding myself at. And I've had a lot of guilt and sadness because I feel like I'm hurting people. And really, I've also been in this beautiful phase where I have this wonderful support system, and I'm receiving support literally from the world, from people just in my day-to-day. And it's changed everything. It changes the whole game. It literally changes everything. Because I deserve to have these boundaries. And I am not going about them in a disrespectful or malicious way. And I am being the most honest and open. And that is my only responsibility in this. I cannot handle people's reactions. That is not on me. That is on them. And that's my current rewiring that I'm at. Just because I want to make sure that I share my experience with you guys too. And document my own. You know, if this is where I'm at, what's next? I don't know. But, all right. I think the wind is picking up. But that is all for today. I hope that this reaches whoever it needs to reach. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this helps somebody. And I have so many video ideas, and I cannot wait to share them with you guys and to share all my thoughts. But I'm cold, so I gotta go. But all right, I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.